Picture frame, 'cause I don't wanna have to see your face.
I'm sick and tired of this day, dude. But it's no surprise. I already had far too many days like this. And another day is just more of the same. Same this, same that. Aside from the fact that I'm in my dump, being misused as usual, and just being totally ignored of my spirit and being the person I am. I told you, dude, there's just nobody out there anymore that can make me feel like I belong. All of them left. All those people that I found approachable, like Trinetta, Tamara, God rest her soul, even Arlene, Paula, Kathleen, a lot of those guys. This crew doesn't give a fuck about me. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I'm trying to have a conversation with Katrina, and next thing you know, she's just like she's not feeling it like that. I told you, nobody ever makes me feel like I belong. Nobody. Like nobody even cares to just even, make me feel like I'm still a worker. I told you, I'm developing go away vibes. And to just come home, I know I should have done my project. I totally forgot my folder. And next thing you know, the Lakers game was on. Lakers lost badly. There was no LeBron. It didn't even matter. I know there's no Reeves, no Rui. But, they gave it their all against the Spurs. We're a much better team this year, but it is what it is. And then, something happens and I get yelled at because it's like I was asked to find a plastic bag, and next thing you know, there's like so many bags around. This house is just way too crowded, man. It's way too crowded with too much stuff. It's very disorganized, and I'm at the point where I just want to move out by myself. But how? If I'm still in this dump where I'm being paid $18.50 an hour in my 13th year when it should have already been $20 an hour. But Mr. Cheap doesn't want to pay everyone that much yet. Somehow Laura was able to get paid like that in her first year. Meanwhile, Paula was paid $17 an hour before she left in her 4th year. I got paid $17 an hour in my 11th year as a graphic artist, quote unquote graphic artist. It's just a disgrace. It's really just a disgrace. And, it's why I'm having more bad days like this. And just knowing that I just feel totally disrespected. I almost feel like I can never be trusted. Trying to do the right things. It's like I'm not learning anything. Instead, I'm just going through a lot of problem solving, going through a lot of annoyance, going through a lot of ignorance. I'm through with this, man. So let me just talk about this because Russ showed me a screenshot. I'm already showing it right here because I'm totally gonna expose this clown again. Okay, I already know Alexis is just one of the biggest clowns I've ever known. Who knows what happens with that fool at this point, if he still wants to be friends with me since I blocked him. Well, I haven't unblocked him. I blocked everyone else. I unblocked everyone else, But look what it just says here. Look at what Russ said. Dewey needs to be patient on us when it comes to phone bill money. A boss, I understand, you have a life and other responsibilities. And the boss said, exactly, he can't just order us around and say, do you have the money? We are busy. It's why I'm not friends with that fool anymore. I can't stand his antics. I understand, like, it's not all about the tone and all that, but a lot of times he just comes off as bossy as fuck, dude. I remember that time when me and Julio and Dewey and I think it was Russ and I forgot who else came along, but we were planning to watch the last Avengers movie at the block, right? And while I was trying to find a parking spot, Dewey was just like pressuring me, thinking that I can't, about finding a parking spot and all that, or whatever it was. I forgot what the conversation was, but he made it seem like I don't know how to find a parking spot. And then Julio came out and telling them that, hey, just let him drive. You don't drive. He knows what he's doing. these people like that, like, I know what the fuck I'm doing, and then I get insulted. It's things like this that just make me so angry. And you wonder how some people, I don't want to hear about people telling me, that, oh yeah, well, you're taking therapy, you should, is your therapy not helping you? Man, get the fuck out of here with that shit already. Nothing's helping me until I get a new job. I've been saying that over and over. And at this point, some people can feel what they feel. But I remember what, let me get back to this screenshot right here. I'm going to show it. It's not really in the title, but I'm going to show it. So this is what the conversation with me and Julio back in 2016. And I think this is around September, just around the time of Dewey's birthday. And Julio said, yeah, he changed. He's going on 40 with no job. Is that the kind of people you want to be associated with? And I said, nope, not in the long run. He has no motivation. At that time, I said it. This was way back in 2016. So, I mean, I don't doubt it. He's right on the money when he said that. So I agreed with him. At that time, I think he was just turning 40 years old. I remember once upon a time, when me and Julio went to watch that movie. I forgot what movie it was, but this was like also in the year 2016. He even told me, like, if he has no job, then what's going to happen if his mom, whatever happened to his mom. I'm not going to say it here, but he was asking me something like that. And he's like, and he even told me, Dewey's a loser, And I even conceded with him. I even told Russ that Dewey was a loser. So, it's why, like, going on 11 years without a job, dude, that's just totally embarrassing. My cousin Carlo, who just came here to the U.S., just last year in September, he was able to get a job right away. See, that's his focus. I mean, don't you want to get a job? I know that, my other cousin who has been here for a year, yeah, I know that she messed up on her decision making as far as like the family caring and all that. But hey, at least she was able to get a job. Good for her. What about this bum? Yeah, this dude is a straight clown. Yeah, I'm not saying Dewey is a bum in general, but he's just a bum for not getting a job, and he still is a bum for not getting a job for 11 years. You know what I'm saying? So, look, I'm not, like, I know I harp on saying that I don't ever try to attack people personally, but at this point, it's like, I'm sure Dewey's a nice guy, all right, and he's shown, but the problem is he's so bossy that he only relies on people who have jobs, like me, Russ, a boss, Neil, Ray, Carlos, guys like us who have jobs, and he just wants to ask, and we're not the only friends, It's just he just so happens that it's that he just keeps on relying for other people for money like that. So look, man, it is what it is at this point. He is in my ex-coach memorial wall. Yes, I did a shout out for him, but look, man, we had a pretty decent friendship, right? But those days were like way back in 2012 till at least 2016, for the most part. So, that version of Dewey, I can argue he was a much better version, and even if he didn't have a job yet at that time, but it is what it is now with him. It's just, I don't know how old he is. I think I've been told he's like 45 or whatever, but it is what it is with him. I mean, let's let him be who he is. I know I said what I said to Russ, and of course I don't mean that just in the heat of the moment. I would never do that to him, right? It's just my anger, just basically still being in that dump. And I get to a point where even my mom was like, I should probably just, like, I'm acting abnormal and stuff. Look, I know she said that in the heat of the moment, but the problem is I do feel abnormal. I do feel abnormal since I'm still in that dump, for Christ's sake. So, I mean, it is what it is, I don't know how else I can just, try to get better if I'm still there. I told you I'm never going to get better if I'm there, if I can still continue to work there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, dude, like, there's just no way in hell. And I'm just at that stamp. I'm just at the point where I need a new life. I need a new job. I need to start over again, so that I don't have to keep, feeling like I'm nobody. And the longer I'm there, like, look how many friends that I lost already. Hell, I even told the guys in the group chat that, I know I'm not supposed to be going on group chats so much, but, I only said that because I didn't want to celebrate my birthday with friends this year. And so, that's, I even said I don't, like, deserve any gifts this year. From friends, of course. Like when you're somebody like me that just loses a whole lot of, like, too many friends like that. I don't know how I can get any gifts from any friends for my birthday, So, look, I know my special day is coming, and at this point, I don't really care so much for that. It's like, dude, I'm just more focused on just trying to get a new job, and I've said that last year too. So there's just, I just think it just makes more sense if I just stay focused on finding a new job until I'm out of there, until I have a better life. And until then, I can never feel like I'm I'm satisfied, or with just it's just the fact of the matter. So yeah, dude. Look, I'm trying to be. Unfortunately, I'm at my worst when it just makes me just like I'm just next level when it comes to stress and anger and frustration. Like, you see, this is what happens when I'm in my dump. My spirit gets completely destroyed. Like, I had a great Christmas day, and then next thing you know, I come back to my dump, and then all of a sudden I feel like I'm being torn down again. You know what I'm saying? Hell, I even had the HR asking me, like, hey, what time did you leave? You didn't clock out. It almost seems like every time I do something with the damn clock, she's asking me. And I know the clock wasn't even working then. I must have forgotten to sign out. Obviously, I just wasn't into it. But whatever, dude. Look, I'm never going to wish harm on Dewey. Never. However, he needs to get his act together. But at this point, I just really don't care. Look, I know I said in the heat of the moment, I would never say anything like that if it wasn't for just what I'm feeling based on the fact that I'm still in this dump, and even when I come home from my dump, okay? So, it is what it is. Like, a lot of times I can just never be the person that I am anymore. I just can't. I really, really just can't. So, it is what it is at this point, man. I gotta simmer the fuck down, do what I do, and I want to go right back inside because I need to take a break outside. I'm just not having it. And, like I said, the Lakers lost, and I'm just trying to just de-stress while I'm out here exposing this clown. So it is what it is. And I said what I said. I'm still gonna root for him. I'm gonna root for you, Dewey. And like, just to do well in life. Even if it means never having a job or refusing to have a job, I'm still going to wish him well. Just like I do with everyone else who lost me as a friend. Okay? So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm just going to end it on that note. And I got to go back inside. So, peace.